guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we're actually bringing back a series that I started quite some time ago called Fixing the Townies. As the name suggests, the idea is that I go through every single townie in the game and I basically fix them. I'm not talking just their looks, I'm talking their skills, their careers, their relationships, etc. I literally never play with townies, and even my own personal saves that I have for the LPs that I have on my channel, they usually have my own townies and my own NPCs. So for my very first video of 2023, we are bringing back this beloved project of mine. So without further ado, let's get started. So Copperdale, once renowned for its booming mining industry, the town of Copperdale, quaint and historic, lay nestled on the banks of Lake Lazuli. Founder Jasper Prescott had forged this land for its treasured crystals, hoping Copperdale would one day blossom into a prosperous community for families and travelers alike. And though the mine cart reached an eternal halt, the townspeople continued to flourish. With academics and adventures abound, Copperdale is now home to many families seeking a small town life with big city dreams for themselves and their teens. Together, they've unearthed a gem far more precious than before, beloved high school memories. Here is the town of Copperdale. I have not made any changes whatsoever. We'll see if I will be making changes to the buildings. I feel like I'm gonna start with the Sims and then we're gonna see how we roll. And of course, we will be starting with the founding family of Prescott. Let me look at their bio. Passed down through generations, this historic estate is home to the Prescott family. May Prescott, Copperdale's high school principal, lives here with her two daughters and her father, Ty Loom. After her husband's passing, May put all her efforts into protecting her girls and showering them with affection, oftentimes to an embarrassing degree. Molly is a star student with a secret passion for music. Taking page from her troublemaker little sister Amy, she's learning to embrace her more rebellious side. Ty enjoys time with his grandchildren, especially the extra moments he has with Molly when working at the school as a janitor. Together, the family proudly carries on the legacy of the Prescott name. So we're starting with a big one. So here we are at the Prescott house, which we will be changing. I'm not a builder, so I'm going to be downloading their house off the gallery, but look at it. It's freaking huge. Like, wow. Also, it's very pretty. If I had the energy, I would actually just redecorate it, but I don't have the energy, so we're just gonna download them a new house. Ooh, they even have a basement. Wow. And here are our main characters. So we have May, we have Molly, Amy, and Ty. They all look quite miserable, I have to say, but let's have a look at their skills and relationships. So we have Ty. Now, looking at the relationships, he does have a decent relationship with both Amy and Molly, but his relationship with May is non-existent. Now, I'm gonna leave the May one the way it is, but I think for Amy and Molly, because the description said that he does really like spending time with the girls, we're gonna increase it to 75, let's say. And then for his skills, actually, let me zoom in on Ty. I believe he doesn't have a job, but he is a janitor NPC at Copperdale High. So we're gonna keep that and we will give him some skills. I'm gonna give him some gardening. Because he's a janitor, I feel like he would have some minimal gardening skills. He already has handiness. He also already has fishing. But I feel like we could also give him some minimal fabrication. It is very unrealistic that he would only have 2 skills when he's an elder. Obviously 4 is not much better, but it is a little bit better. So we're gonna leave it at that. Now let's look at May. Now May has charisma, logic, and piano. Now I have to say, for a headmistress, for charisma to be this low is just unrealistic. So let's make it at least, let's make it 9. Logic is fine, piano is fine, but let's add, she's so miserable. You know what, let's give her some baking skills. I feel like because her job is so stressful, she would need some kind of hobby, and sure, she has piano, but baking would be something that she can do with her girls, you know? Also do some basic painting, and of course, you cannot be a teacher, a headmistress, or have any kind of education job without a writing skill. We'll set a baking at 4. painting at 2 and writing at 7. And here you can actually see May a little bit better. Then let's look at the relationships. Again, I feel like with the girls, she would have a higher relationship. Let's do 90 with Amy, because Amy is still a kid, but Molly is already a teen, so maybe we'll do 70. Now, May also doesn't have a job because she's the headmistress NPC. Now, I do have the education overhaul, which does have a headmistress career. However, I'm not sure if that's gonna screw up the NPC settings, so I'm not gonna give her a career. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. The next up is Molly, who is a high school A student, so she's doing very fine in school, and her skills include guitar, logic, and mischief, which is quite an interesting combination. But since she is a high school student, she will need some more basic skills. She will need a writing skill for sure. She also has some baking skill because, as I said, she, like the way I see it, May and the girls would probably bake together. So let's add a baking skill. If she wants to be in music, she needs at least some basic charisma, and also, like, she's the headmistress's child. She most likely has been pushed to like extracurricular activities all her life, which just, you know, you cannot survive that without getting some charisma skill out of it. And she has the guitar skill, but maybe we should also give her some singing skill. I think that would be fun. We're leaving all of her new skills at 2 just because I don't think she would be very good at baking or very good at singing, but I did raise the writing skill to 3 just because, I mean, she's a high school student, she's an A student, she has to know how to write. So that's that. Molly isn't in any after school activities, and I feel like she should be, because again, she gets A's in class, she is the headmistress's child, and she's clearly active in the school life, so it just doesn't make sense that she's not in any after school activities. And the thing is, I do have the performing arts club, which basically is for both actors and singers, I'm guessing, but judging by the bio, Molly hasn't yet openly rebelled against her mother, and she hasn't voiced her desire to become a performer, like join a music band or whatever. So I think it would actually be more interesting to have her be part of the student council, because again, headmistress's daughter, it just, you know, it's the perfect cliche where the child of a headmistress is also on student council. So we're gonna do that. New popularity status. Popularity during the high school years equates to social status. Being popular can open up both admiration, jealousy, emulation, and annoyance from peers, while opening up doors for more social opportunities and perks. Now, if you're wondering about the like the popularity and then the tryouts for the clubs and also just the variety of after school activities, that is because I have several mods. The moment you join an after school activity and gain a popularity status, you also automatically join a specific clique and you get to know people in it. So that's why Molly's social circle immediately expanded. If there are some random people that are townies, NPCs that I'm going to be deleting, then I'm going to be deleting them. But at least I believe Ash and Sydney are part of high school years. So she has some friends and she even has an enemy. Again, I have no idea if this guy is a part of high school years or if he will be deleted, so it doesn't matter. At least we do have Ash as a very good friend and then Sydney as a friend. And if we now open Molly's traits, she has the music lover, she's a genius, and this is the social group that comes with the mod. Floaters aren't usually their own social group. They sometimes float between the other social groups and amongst themselves, and sometimes are loners. They aren't defined by any label or group, which again, I think actually suits Molly very well, because on the one hand, she is or wants to, like, has to be part of the student council, but on the other hand, she does want to be a musician. She's not popular and she's not unpopular, which again also works. I don't think she will ever be the most popular girl in school, but I also don't think she will ever be unpopular due to her mother's career, and also because she is an A student. She's extremely good in wellness, very bad at gourmet cooking, bad at dancing. She's a muser, an artist, and a sage. I'm not going to touch her likes and dislikes. I'm also not going to touch her character values or lifestyles. She has a pretty good public image. Okay, small correction. The High School Years Tweaks mod is actually by a Deep Indigo, which, as I said, is one of my favorite mod creators. I highly recommend their education overhaul, their healthcare mods, and also their High School Years Tweaks. Now, in addition to the High School Years Tweaks, they have the Dynamic Teen Life mod, which tackles the popularity and the after-school activities. That mod adds so much to the teen life. There's like more emotions, there's mental health issues, there's mood swings, and then all the after school activities. So I've invited over Ash to see how this whole thing works. Go to friendly, it has the tryout secure vote for student council. Thanks to a strong command of the issue, a confident demeanor, and maybe just a few empty promises, Molly successfully secured Ash's vote. Let's get to Amy. Now, Amy is a rambunctious scamp, and I believe she was the rebel of the family, the openly rebel child. She has some motor skills, she has some social skills. I don't think we need to interfere with that. That's good for a kid. Now, her relationship, I think she and Molly, I actually think that 50 is good, because while Molly has sort of been admiring Amy's rebellious side, I also think they probably would clash quite a bit. So we're gonna leave it at that. Siblings aren't always the best of friends. Also, you have to take into consideration their age difference. Regarding school, she's a C student, which also is very fitting. Actually, what if we made her a D student? I mean, wouldn't that be kind of fun? Let's make her a D student. She's embarrassed from poor performance. Seems as though distractions are getting in the way of education. But again, I think that's just gonna make things a little bit more interesting. So she's a D student, but she's kind of on her way to a C. So she's not on her way to F, she's on her way to C. It is pretty unrealistic that no one in this family knows anyone, especially May. She's a headmistress. She should know everyone in Copperdale High School, like, come on. And also, Amy deserves some friends. So, I teleported a couple of sims over just to fix this problem. Ty, we kind of need a... Oh my god, you know what? Let me change the weather. Anyways, since Dennis just narrowly avoided his death, let's make him maybe a friend, not like a super close friend, but a friend, maybe like fishing buddies or something. Now for May, I think she and Ava would be at least pretty good acquaintances, because Ava works in school. I think she's the cook or something like that. And then, okay, how do you pronounce this name? Is it like Jane, or is it Jane, or like, how do you pronounce it? Anyway, this woman, I'm gonna call her Jane for now because I have no idea how to pronounce her name. She would be a best friend, because we will actually be fixing both Ava and Jane soon enough. But from what I've read, Jane is actually a Copperdale native. She and her husband moved back here after college or something. So it's not a leap to think that she and May actually went to school together. So maybe they reconnected after college, or maybe they stayed good friends throughout college. I just think like they're very similar, because I think Jane is like in some like regional job as well, so they're both very significant members of Copperdale community. We could probably even become best friends. Now I also added Kevin, because Kevin is actually an exchange student from what I understood, so it makes sense that, you know, she actually got to know him when he transferred. Oh my god, she just tripped like that. Because Marcel is Jane's husband, I think that we should also make their relationship pretty good. Obviously, Ty also knows Marcel and Jane. I'm actually gonna give him a better relationship with Jane, just because she is May's friend, always was, so it makes sense that he would also know her from childhood, her childhood, I mean. In Molly's case, my game keeps generating random teens. I'm gonna be deleting them. As I said, she's friends with Ash, she's friends with Sydney. Now Kevin, again, I feel like she would know him at least, because he's an exchange student, and if she is on student council, she definitely has you know, interacted with him. Now, I've also made Molly friends with Yuki Bear and then Sophia Björksen. I think they do have similar enough interests that they would click. And to make things interesting, I think we're gonna make her dislike Savannah. I have no idea for what reason, but we're just gonna make it nothing too drastic, but maybe -15. No reason for that, just making things a little bit more interesting and also realistic, because realistically you won't like every single person in your school. Now finally we have Amy. Now for Amy, this is Jaden Price, and because they both live in Copperdale, I think they could be best buddies. And then she's also friends with Myra. And we might as well make Amy and Jaden BFF. Now, one last thing for Amy. I have the Childhood Clicks mod. So let's, where is it? Here it is, Childhood Clicks. Let's join the Troublemakers. I think that's just gonna add a splash of drama to this household, and also it's just, you know, it's very cliche that a headmistress with very good reputation would have troublemaker kids. That's that for the relationships and skills portion of this video. Let's move on to the makeovers and then finally the house. Let's start with Amy, who's a rambunctious scamp and apparently a kleptomaniac, so troublemakers seems to be a perfect click for her. And here's a close-up. I want to preface this makeover by saying that I almost never change the genetics of townies when I make them over. I just think, like, even if they're ugly, because most townies are, I don't know, I feel like just adding some skin details and better hair and better clothes fixes them enough that I don't mind them. And also, you know, I don't want all of my Sims to look identical, and, you know, let's preserve the genetics even if they're ugly. And this is the finished result. So this is Amy. I obviously kept the dark red hair and I kept the glasses, but I changed the shape and I changed the color. Now for the outfits. This is her everyday outfit. It's just very casual because I actually changed her aspiration. So her new aspiration is a child delinquent, and that is because I feel like a rambunctious scamp just didn't fit the vibe at all. So let my girl be a rebel, and I chose clothes that would kind of fit that aspiration, in the sense that she clearly doesn't dress in skirts and nice tops that her mother would probably prefer. Now for formal wear, obviously her mother would probably be a little bit more strict because formal means guest. For athletic, it's all about comfort and fancy sneakers. For bed, I think this is her original outfit. I didn't really do anything because I feel like purple cats would suit her. Now for party, again, this is obviously like, because Prescott family strikes me as someone who would have like fancy dinner parties. So this is again more on the formal side. Swimwear, I just really like the print, so she has this cover up that I think looks really cute on her. I think for hot weather she actually had a skirt, but I was like, nah, this girl does not like skirts unless she's forced into them. And then for winter, she's once again back in jeans and jacket and this really cute rain boots. Let's move on to May, our dear headmistress. So she has the aspiration of successful lineage. She is a perfectionist, neat and gloomy. And here's a close-up of her face. This is May. Here is a close-up. She's actually really beautiful. I did like minimal makeup aside from like the lips. I think she originally did also have much darker lips. So for her accessories, I only gave her tiny earrings. They're pearls. I think they're very sophisticated. They're not in your face. And of course, her hair, I'm gonna show, is a very kind of like low, it's not really a bun, I think it's more of an updo. Now for the outfit, I did struggle a little bit with the colors, and this is what I ended up choosing. So it's a very modest skirt, and then she has like a sweater and a button down. The shoes are more on the practical side with a thick low heel. It makes sense with her job. Now for the formal, she had like this purple dress, so I went with a similar style but a slightly different color. I think this red just looks better on her. For me, formal would either mean a school function for her or some kind of like fancy dinner, so this made sense because it's still modest but it's still like formal. For athletic, she doesn't strike me as someone who's very athletic, but I do think she does enough to stay healthy and stay like relatively in shape, because her job is obviously a desk job. For sleep, I went with pajamas. For party, again, she strikes me more of a fancy dinner parties with her friends, or if she goes for drinks, again, it would be more on the upscale side. It's more about socializing and enjoying the company than partying, so I went again very formal. For her swimwear, just a basic one piece. Now for summer, I actually gave her this really long loose dress that I think looks fantastic on her, and honestly any mother sim in the game. And I gave her this, these are the Dior slingbacks, aren't they? And then for winter, this is probably the outfit I'm least happy with, just because I couldn't find the shoes that I liked, so I had to give her this ankle booties with a longer skirt. But I really do like the jacket. So that was me. Then of course we have a Ty, who is an angling ace. He loves the outdoors, he's neat, and he's a snob. Here is a close-up of Ty. Unfortunately for Ty, I don't really have a lot of CC for older male sims, so you know, I had to make him go completely bald because I couldn't find suitable hair. But I did change his beard and I did change his eyebrows. I didn't really give him any skin details aside from like skin. I don't think he actually has a skin, because I don't have a lot of CC for older male sims. I haven't found any that I felt like downloading. Now, he originally was wearing the janitor outfit, which I think is ridiculous because he is a snob sim, he's a neat sim. There's no way he's going to be wearing his work clothes outside of work. So I gave him this grandpa style with like, you know, pants, button downs in weird prints and colors, and a knit, plus very sensible shoes. Same with formal, I gave him again pants and button down and a knit. I just think like it still looks put together, but you can see that comfort is still a top priority, because I can say from experience that as you get older, comfort really becomes a priority. So now for athletic wear, I don't see him exercising that much, so it's just, you know, sweatpants, a hoodie. For sleep, I didn't want to go full pajama route, so you know, we mixed and matched, and I think that works like for weekends, maybe when he wakes up late and he doesn't necessarily want to immediately change clothes, he can comfortably walk around the house dressed like this. Party wear, again, comfort, basically the same outfit of pants and a button down, but without the knit. For swimwear, this is his original swimwear. I didn't really see a reason to change it. For summer, just a t-shirt, shorts, and again, comfortable shoes. And then for winter, it's a thicker knit with a jacket and some jeans. And then finally, we have Molly, whose aspiration is to be a musical genius. She is a music lover and a genius, so makes sense. And here is a close-up. Now, I struggled with Molly the most. I tried so many different outfits, and I think some of them looked really good on her, but then were too short, and I was like, there's no way her mother would allow her to go to school in an outfit that short. And also, Molly doesn't strike me as a person who would be into short outfits, but then other outfits were too long. and then I couldn't find proper stockings or the shoes didn't match. It was not it. But here is the close-up of Molly. I gave her pigtails, but I made sure that some of the darker hair is speaking, because clearly this family is of Asian origin, and clearly at least May has black hair. So I don't think Molly could be naturally blonde, and it just didn't make sense to me. So I think naturally she has really dark hair, but she dyes it blonde, so I wanted to kind of emphasize that it is dyed, so you can see some of the roots peeking. I also went on a whole journey with her earrings, because I tried some piercings, you know, something subtle, so that her mother wouldn't be, you know, disappointed that she's piercing her ears with so many earrings, but at the same time it would still be a little bit of a rebellion. But then I figured with this hairstyle, you know, the hoops, they just look the best and they just fit this outfit. So she has these overalls and a basic shirt. She's a very busy girl. She has so many extracurricular activities. She's a genius, but she's also into music, and she also has to look a certain way because of her mom. So this is what I settled on. I also really like her shoes, because like they look like very sensible leather shoes made for walking, but then they do have that heel, you know, that also says fashion. So I really like that. For her formal, obviously this is a prom dress. I did struggle with this one as well, mostly with choosing accessories and choosing the hair, because none of the hairs from, I think this is a Nightcrawler hair, I couldn't find an updo that would be like suitable for prom. So we went just, you know, basic straight hair. Now for the accessories, this actually could look like some kind of heirloom set that would maybe give her for a special occasion like prom. So we went with that. I think it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's a designer set, but we can pretend that it's just an heirloom piece. And I went for a light blue for her dress, because that's what she had originally on. For athletic, just like the rest of her family, she doesn't really strike me as an athletic person, but she obviously has PE in school, so she just has some sensible workout clothes. Now for her sleepwear, I actually gave her this Yale sweater, because I feel like, again, it could be something that maybe May gave her, because Molly is aiming for Yale. Obviously Sims doesn't have a Yale in it, but you know, we can pretend that this is basically her aiming for her dream school. Now for party, Molly is different from the rest of the family, because for her, party would actually mean sneaking out of the house and going to a party with like fellow teens and her friends, etc. So that's why I went way shorter with her dress. This is actually very similar to what she had. It's like a t-shirt with a dress on top. This might not be the best shoes for the outfit, but I'm freaking in love with the shoes. So I'm like, I want to use them. I want to use them on Molly because they remind her of her everyday shoes. So we're going with that. So I do not accept any criticism. I love the shoes. I wanted to give them to her, and this was the perfect opportunity. For swimwear, she has this basic but still kind of cute set. The top is peach, and then the bottom is just this multitude of colors on the green side, I guess. For hot weather, she actually had a crop top and shorts, so I was like, let's repeat that, but in better choices. So I gave her this green crop top, some denim shorts, and espadrilles. And then for cold weather, I did consider keeping the casual like jeans and hoodie that she had, but then I was like, Molly isn't really casual to me. So I gave her this gorgeous set. It's like a skirt and a cardigan, and it clearly has some layering going on, so she's not gonna freeze. And also she has warm shoes with some socks peeking out and stockings as well. So I think she'll be fine in the Copperdale winter. So that's it for our makeovers. I have to say May is probably my favorite. I just think she looks so gorgeous with, you know, just some tweaking. The last thing we have to do is, of course, update the house. And I think I'm going with this one by Gaming Arrow, I believe. It looks absolutely stunning, and I believe I do have all the packs. So let's see what it looks like. Oh wow, it's stunning. Like guys, look at this. It is stunning, truly stunning, and I think it fits the family so well. Let's take a peek. Let's start on the ground floor. We have a living room with a fireplace and a TV. We have clearly May's office, very fancy looking. Then we have bedroom number 1 with a computer, so that could be Molly's bedroom. We have a grand piano, a big dining room, massive kitchen, and even a tiny like breakfast nook, I guess, with a lot of greens. Lovely, lovely spots. Actually, this could be the breakfast nook. And then we have the sitting room with a fireplace and some bookshelves. Lovely, very lovely. And from this hallway, oh, there's another dining table outside on like the patio. There's a hot tub, another seating area, and then we have the pool with some floaties and lounge chairs. And then from this hallway, you can actually go downstairs. And here we have a very interesting space, because it looks like a teen party space almost, because there's a laptop, there's a bathroom, a mini kitchen with a microwave and a popcorn maker, lots of seating, mismatched seating, and there's a big TV, an entertainment center. So I think this is the place where Molly might be hanging out with her friends, maybe? Okay, I was definitely wrong, because this is very clearly Molly's room, and I actually think it looks so good. The colors, like the lighting is perfect, there's lots of clutter, and I think it really represents Molly, because it's kind of all over the place. You can't really call it a specific style, and I think that's because Molly is kind of a little bit all over the place. She does seem to be sharing a bathroom with her little sister, which is kind of cute, because we have like this his and her sinks essentially, and like Molly has the makeup, and then on the other side they're like hair tools, etc. Even though obviously Amy is a little bit too young probably to care about that stuff. Then again, who knows? There's a bath and a toilet, and this, I'm guessing, is Amy's room. Now this is clearly Amy's also because of the colors. It's all black and red, clearly speaking to her more rebellious side. She also seems to have an aquarium. Let's purchase a fish. Let's name the fish Spooky. And then we have 2 more bedrooms. So we have one here with a TV and a very black and white bathroom. And then we have another one here. It actually is connected to Molly's room in a way. So I think I'm actually gonna keep this room as a guest bedroom. So if Molly has friends over, it would make sense that there would be like a beer pong table and they would have access to each other also through this balcony. I just don't think either grandpa or the mother would want to have that kind of access to Molly, right? But then May will have this bedroom, and then Ty, I think, would actually enjoy being downstairs because he can be technically all on his own. So when everyone goes to sleep, he's the only one on this floor. And also he is an older man, so there is no need to put unnecessary strain on his joints by making him walk the stairs every single day, right? And that is it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm so excited to bring the series back and tackle every single household that we have in the game. Do let me know in the comments if you enjoyed, if you would have changed something, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!